the solid line itself. This is another logo which was designed in Italy. IUAV means Institute University of Architecture in Venice. And I tried to play with these 4 letters, trying to find a solution that will make something very much interesting and clear. But I didn't find anything really correct until by manipulation I realized that they have something in common that you will see in a minute in that screen. My goal is to show you also the design process. I'm trying many different combination, solution, but no one is really correct. In my opinion, after so many tests, I didn't find the ideas that I wanted to develop to make the logo very unique. Because all these combinations that you see on the screen, some of them are interesting, but not strong enough to make the logo type very unique as something that you will never do so for other client. So you have to see what the letters have in common. And I just realized if I put them on top of each other, like what you see right now on the screen, they are symmetrical. I try again to other solution, trying to make only them in a square, like what you see. But I came back slowly to the main idea to have them stack on each other, and to reveal, the idea of a column. The column is really something very strong in terms of architecture, and also it refers to main pieces in art, like what you saw, the column with no hands by Brancusi. So then the letters are on top of each other. I needed the serif for the letter I, to avoid the confusion with the number 1. Then each letter have the same width. And as I explained it to you, they can be read on both sides, which is very strong in terms of architecture. And that's the final logo. It was an international competition, and I won it because I found this very strong concept, and the idea also to bring them on top of each other, to include them in a virtual square, to pay attention to the proportion and what you see and what you don't see in some way. But those dot lines also help you to read from the top to the bottom, because as you know, the Latin typefaces are not made to be read from vertically, but horizontally. Another logo type, and I designed to celebrate the Brazilian culture. We in France have some opportunities to celebrate culture from abroad, sometime every year or every 2 years. And that year, a few times ago, it was about Brazilian. It's called Two Time Brazil. And the idea was to reveal the ethnic diversity of the country. I try again, to mix the 2B, because it was two-time Brazil. The second time was with an S, to express that Brazil is made with different culture, different people. But all these ideas were quite interesting, but not strong enough. And even if I love the concept of using the 2B to expand it, I thought it was more interesting to create a kind of hybrid letters, to combine 2B on top of each other. And slowly it evolved to write two-time Brazil, and the second time with an S, as I explained it to you, and to have some hybrid letters like the B, the E, the I, and that creates a very interesting motif that reminds me in some way the rhythm of the Brazilian music, the samba. You see some small letters, bigger letters. And again, let's talk about color. Color, I explained to you, have a sense, have a meaning. And here the color, of course, refer to the Brazilian flag. This was the poster which was made to announce the festival. That was the brochure. And it's again using the color but in different ways, you know. Before it was on a blue background, this is on a white background, and this you have the old stationery that was designed for all the events. And at that time I thought that Brazil was the country, is the country of colors, so let's try to use a brighter palette and more different color than the one that was more, that were more expected.